I distinctly remember saying, stop the bus. Yes, stop the bus. Not shoot the bus. I'm very particular with my words. Stop. Shoot. Stop. Shoot. Go on. Cry for help. Cry for help.
Help!
Pathetic. No, cry for help.
Help!
You mean it, boy.
Help!
Help! From your diaphragm!
Help!
Shh, 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 shh. Now we listen. Nothing. I'm afraid they're not coming for you, buddy. Don't worry about a thing, my boy. This will soon be behind us. We'll be off on a grand adventure. Because I have cleared my calendar for you. You and I are gonna tear shit up!
Hello everybody and welcome to the final part of the series. If you don't know what the series is, we cover all the Far Cry 6 DLC villain packs. We've covered Joseph Seed for Far Cry 5 and Voss for Far Cry 3, but today we're talking about the infamous villain for Far Cry 4, Pagan Min. But first, let's get to know a little more about Far Cry 4 and the background of it before we dive into this. Far Cry 4 begins with Ajay, the main character, returning his mother's ashes to Lakshmana, which is the daughter Pagan and Ashwari made, Ashwari being Ajay's mother. But while Ajay is on the bus, he gets intercepted by Pagan Min's men, which Pagan Min purposely did knowing Ajay was on that bus. Pagan Min kidnaps Ajay because he actually wanted to do a nice thing and just take him straight away to Lakshmana and just return the ashes. But Ajay runs away, probably due to Pagan Min being absolutely insane and Ajay does not trust him at all, which is kind of reasonable. But by the end of Far Cry 4, it really twists your perspective on everything. Pagan Min pulls an entire Uno reverse card saying that if you just listened to me, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to go. And it really made you feel like the bad guy killing all those people for no reason and just wasting your time. And it's shocking to reveal that Pagan Min was not lying to you. And it's a cutscene that shows this.
Before we begin, to whom am I speaking? The son who returned to scatter his mother's ashes, or the lunatic who has murdered his way to the top of my mountain? If I was speaking to the first guy, then I would say, sit down. Let's be civilized. Enjoy some food. But we tried that before, didn't we? At our first meeting? You sat right here. Paul was off applying voltage to the nipples of your rude little plus one. I stood just like this. And what were my exact words? Stay here, enjoy the crab rangoon, don't move, I'll be right back. Now, if you had just listened, just waited for me, then we would have come back here straight away, together, and scattered your mother's ashes. So then you must be the second guy who didn't listen, decided instead to join the other monkeys and start throwing his shit around.
Far Cry 4 definitely made me feel something no game has ever made me feel before, making me feel like absolute shit and wasting my fucking time. No, but generally it was actually a very interesting thing to see in that game, and Far Cry 4 was just a masterpiece. Another great Far Cry game. But let's start talking about the DLC itself. Pagan Min's DLC takes place after Far Cry 4, and it's presumed that this is some type of dream space, because I don't believe he died at all. I think he just drove it off in his helicopter and ran away. But like the other two DLCs, they all had a voice in their head. Joseph was god, Voss was Citra, and in this one, it's himself, which is called the Tyrant, an evil version of Pagan, which you see in the beginning of the cutscene with a black suit and weird blood paint on him. The Tyrant is theorized to be Pagan's younger self, and his job is to remind Pagan of all the terrible things he's done, and all the terrible things he's done as king, which is why he's called the Tyrant. Tyrant basically meaning king. But in Far Cry 4, there's a pretty confusing family tree, and I feel like we should talk about all the characters in it before we continue. Ashwari, the dead mother of Ajay, dated a man called Mohan, and they had a kid, Ajay. And Mohan created the Golden Path to restore the old monarchy to Kairat, and they wanted to get rid of pagan men. I mean, hey, who likes a monarchist dictatorship anyway? Okay, back to it. So, Ashwari was sent by Mohan as a spy.
Listen to me! Regardless of how you feel, Ishwari is a spy, Pagan!
A spy? Oh, heavens, how can this be? This must be the real reason my greatest adversary sent his own wife into my home.
Oh, you genius, you absolute genius.
You knew. Then why did you?
Because I am the king, and a king destroys anyone who gets in between him and what he wants.
She told Mohan of his wife's affair, didn't she? It's funny, you know. You always needed a mother. It just came too late.
Despite pagan men knowing Ashwari was a spy, he fell deeply in love with her, and they made a child called Lakshmana. Mohan found out about the affair due to Yuma betraying Pagan, so Mohan kills Lakshmana out of pure anger, and he didn't want Pagan to have an heir to the throne.
Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Huh. Yes, your father killed your half-sister, and then your mother killed him in return. I simply continued where she left off. I killed so many people for them. But then I realized I was only using Lakshmana's death as an excuse to do whatever I wanted to do. Just as you use those ashes as an excuse to do whatever you want to do. God damn if it isn't fun.
Ashwari felt she was trapped between two evil men, Pagan and Mohan. So she fled to the United States of America with Ajay and lived out the rest of her life, but unfortunately passed away to breast cancer, leading to Ajay going on his trip to return his mother's ashes to Lakshmana, her child. Remember when I said the tyrant is there to remind pagan men of his mistakes? Well, for my theory for the beginning of the cutscene is I think the tyrant shot Lakshmana in that dream world. I think it was kind of showing how Pagan Min blames himself for Lakshmana's death because maybe he knew how insane Mohan was and he could have done something to prevent this, but he couldn't and he didn't. And he blames himself for that. Just like all DLCs, everyone has a problem. Joseph is collapse and Voss is insanity. Pagan's is control. He can't control himself, and he always wants to control others. There's a cutscene with Pagan Min's father showing this.
Be right back, my darlings. This had better be important.
You are still a child with no self-control. I have turned a blind eye to your vices, but the fact that you are still fucking men.
Oh, please. What's the point of having power if you can't do whatever you... You touched my face. I wasn't planning on doing this so soon, but...
You dare?
Oh, smart! My mind has held me back! Tell me now! was I? Oh, right. Coming, my darlings. There. I've done your job. Now unfreeze my accounts. Give me back my fucking money.
Your money. I have had enough of your frivolities. You waste my wealth. And on what? Women's clothing and flashy cars? You attract too much attention.
I'm trying to uphold our status. You could be running the Triad.
I heard what you did.
Would you listen to me?
Look at your fucking shoes. Disgusting.
If you already couldn't tell, that additional cutscene was to solidify that Pagan Min is a gay character, more accurately a bisexual, meaning he likes women and men. This is proved later when we see Pagan Min having relationships with his body double after Ashwari's death, and how his father would make fun of him for wearing women's clothing. He was also bullied for being gay. While this is not said, it is heavily implied. And on the chalkboard it shows that they are dead. I'm not sure if he actually did kill them, but that just proves more of my point of him having no self-control. But not only did he have no self-control, he also wanted to have control over people. 2 cases of this is Ashwari and Yuma, his general.
I am not going to America. I didn't ask you to. So you're what? Leaving me? Me? I'm leaving Kirat. This place. What you and Mohan have turned it into. Kirat is what killed her. I won't lose another child to it. Think about what you're saying. Stop. Stop. What are you? You belong to me. Dead child or no, you are not going anywhere. Let go of me. Wait, I didn't mean that. That wasn't me. Ishwari! Ishwari!
Well, tell your husband it's his.
He will find that hard to believe.
Then tell him it's an immaculate conception. They think you're a goddess, right? Isn't that sort of thing in your wheelhouse? Or I can contact my private doctor. He'll know what we can do about this.
How dare you!
Oh, come on, Ishwari. Do I really strike you as the kind of man who's eager for divers of playtime?
And do I strike you as the kind of woman who can be told what to do with her body?
Well, a boy can dream, can't he? Uma, finally. The time has come, my dear.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? Let's see. Was I sure about leaving Hong Kong, pissing off the Triads, joining some starry-eyed royalists, and then betraying them? Of course I'm fucking sure!
What are you doing?
I mean, look at me. What was I supposed to do? Run my father's rinky-dink crime operation? No. I deserve something better. Something bigger. My own kingdom. Yuma, do as I asked.
Don't do this!
There. Thank you. Oh, and Yuma, I don't like to ask for things twice. Yuma was always a handful. She was rash, undisciplined, but I saw the potential she was wasting.
You mean the inheritance she was wasting?
No, I'm talking about her raw dedication.
She thought you did this because you loved her.
You did more than just avenge my father's death. You secured my future. Whatever you need, whatever you want. I'll give you everything.
She certainly loved you.
I did love her. In my own way.
Pagan Min was very controlling of Ishwari, stating that she belongs to him, and he wanted to get rid of Lakshmana, if you know what I mean by that. And as for Yuma, he would use Yuma to do whatever he wanted, kinda like do the dirty work for him, killing and doing whatever he asked. If I were to rank every single map out of all these DLCs, it would be Pagan Min first, Joseph Seed second, and Voss is last. It's not that Voss is bad, it's because it didn't feel too familiar to Far Cry 3, but I've already said this before in our last video. But the reason Pagan Min's is first is because the stunning, beautiful map that looks like Khirat, but like overly saturated with beautiful colors, it is amazing. To the beautiful pink trees and the gold everywhere, to the beautiful artwork, just, oh, it's so good. Everywhere you go is just stunning. And the sky is lathered with references just like all the other games. There's a huge Pagan Min statue, and there's also clouds in the shape of an elephant and a tiger, which was the skill tree in Far Cry 4. Ishwari is also on the moon, but I don't even have any clips for that, but she is on there, which is a nice detail. But man, Pagan Min's map is absolutely beautiful. 10 out of 10 map. But as for gameplay, it is the exact same as the other two, so I'll quickly speedrun it. In every DLC, in order to complete the DLC, you have to complete 3 things to collect 3 pieces. Joseph Seed, that's 3 pieces of his Eden's Gate cross. In Voss's, it's 3 pieces of the knife, and in Pagan Min's, it's 3 pieces of a golden mask. You can collect hearts, and hearts are your skills, and that can help you progress easier throughout the story. You have a slot, and that slot can hold your skills, and you have to buy each individual slot to hold those skills. There are weapon challenges. These weapon challenges give you weapons, and each DLC has different weapons stored. What I mean by that is they are all the same weapons, but they're different variants of these weapons. For instance, here's the LMG from Joseph Seed's story, and here's the LMG from Voss's story. They're both the same weapon, but different variations of those weapons. So let's go over all of Pagan Min's weapons. The pistol, the auto pistol, AR, SMG, shotgun, grenade launcher, sniper, bow and arrow, and LMG. And something that I find amazing about his weapons is how beautiful they are colored. Thank you, Pagan Min, for something original, unlike Voss's ugly weapon skins that are just guns. Sorry, Voss, I didn't like them. Yes, you are reading that right. Ajay, the main character of Far Cry 4, was responsible for the nuke ending in Far Cry 5. Have a listen to this ending in the DLC.
Hello? Is it working? What? Gary, is it Oh, okay, good. Ajay, if you're listening to this recording, I am dead. Or just, on vacation or something. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure by now you're busy silencing dissidents and enjoying lavish clifftop dinners. I just have one last thing to mention. You don't think I really sunk all this country's money into gold statues, do you? Don't be stupid. No, I was starting to get a little tired of America meddling in my personal affairs without consequence. I mean, closing trade, sending the CIA, trying to hire you to off me or something. It really pissed me off. So, beneath this palace is, well, what would you call it? A stock? A heap? A gaggle? An enormous fucking vault of nuclear weapons, a fuck ton of them, pointed right at America. Probably, I don't know, somewhere near Montana, to be exact. Doesn't matter. Feel free to use them whenever and however you see fit. Oh, but if I am alive, do warn me first, would you? Enjoy the power, RJ. You deserve it. Love always, Uncle Pagan. Now, how do I press stop?
That made my jaw drop hearing him say Montana. If you don't know, Montana is where Far Cry 5 is located in. Probably one of the biggest ball droppers in the entire Far Cry series to me. Absolutely insane. Unfortunately, this is the last Far Cry 6 DLC video we are covering, and I had a blast making these, and I hope you all enjoyed these. But one message I want to get out there would be, if you haven't played Far Cry or any of these Far Cry games, definitely play them. They are super fun experiences with amazing guns and such fun villains. And if you happen to play those games or already played those games and haven't played any of the villain packs, definitely play them. There's so much you are missing out and so much you get to learn about these villains. And they are extremely fun and co-op, so you can play with a friend. But I've been King Etcha, and I hope you all enjoyed this amazing fun series. I've had so much fun making them, and if you would like to, subscribe. It really helps this channel grow, and it helps me out so much. So, I'll see you guys next time, and don't forget,
All choices have consequences, RJ! I've given you Kirat, but I'm keeping the helicopter!